Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And I hope you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Today, we have a lot to talk about. Specifically, we are going to be addressing what's going to make XRP extremely valuable. We're talking about multiplier effects. We're talking about the amount of XRP in supply being burned significantly through massive amounts of transactions. And we're going to be talking about the path forward on how this becomes a reality. Now, we're going to address it. We're going to be talking about timeframes as well. We're going to be addressing like how long do we have to wait for these things to happen. Now, I will say this, as we look at XRP, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of negativity. And it is because when we go back to 2017, 2018, guys, it's almost been 7 years. 7 years since a new all-time high has been hit on XRP. It's kind of crazy. But one thing that I will say is that since 2017, 2018, XRP has been just going sideways in a macro uptrend, and we are just waiting for a big breakout. In the short term, XRP will become valuable as well. In the short term, I do expect XRP to make a new all-time high. I also expect XRP to go to at least $5 to $10, and the big keyword there is at least. Right? We're talking about conservative levels. Do I think that it could go to $15 to $20? 100%. I think that XRP has been building for so long, waiting for a big spike to the upside. So that's what we are waiting for. But in this video, we're talking about some higher prices. We're going to address it. But before we continue on, I just want to let you guys know that the free Discord got a massive upgrade, and you could join the free Discord right now by going to the description below as well as in the comments below and clicking the link to join the free Discord today. And for those members out there that are already a member, if you guys do want to trial the premium section for 7 days, it is completely free and you don't have to pay at all. And you can get a ton of value for 7 days in the premium section as well. And that goes for all of you new members as well. If you guys do want to go check this out, links are down in the description below as well as in the comments below. And with that being said, let's go over here to the cross-border payment sector. So $250 trillion. Guys, this is no joke. $250 trillion by 2028. That's right. By 2028 is the big focus point here. And as we look at this, right, there's been a few predictions. It's like 250 to 280 trillion. This is a market that is ripe for disruption. It is plagued with inefficiencies. And for the longest time, Ripple has been at the forefront of making sure that this is no longer the case. They want to innovate with blockchain. They want to tap in to the unexplored potential that DLT, specifically XRP, can provide to the cross-border payments market. But the thing is, how are they going to do this? Well, CBDCs seem to be the focus right now. And even going back to May 8th of 2023, so just last year, we have the future of central bank digital currencies. And this is from James Wallace. Now, within this, right, we're still seeing the cross-border payment market being talked about, but it's now with CBDCs. And a lot of people, especially XRP holders, have been questioning, like, what's going to happen with XRP if CBDCs are going to be utilized for cross-border payments? Well, again, the issue here is, how are we going to settle these things? How are, CBDCs and stablecoins, how are all these things going to work? And how is all of this stuff going to be settled? Well, you still need that decentralized bridge currency. And that's where XRP really kind of comes into play. Now, there's already a ton of CBDC initiatives out there. Ripple's already tapped in on a lot of them. We know that Ripple has been working with massive amounts of central banks for a very long time, even around CBDC initiatives. We also know that, like I said, when it comes to Ripple, they've always been at the forefront of these things. We know that Ripple already has their CBDC platform as well. And if we go over here to July 29th, 2023, 30 countries, over 15% of nations in the world may use Ripple's CBDC platform. And we know this because of James Wallace. This is actually a post that XRP Darren, Fame21 More, posted on Twitter. I'm not going to play this video, but basically James Wallace said that Ripple is in discussions with over 30 plus central banks regarding the CBDC solution, which is their CBDC platform. Now, a lot of people have been saying like, oh, well, XRP, there has to be some sort of secret price tied to XRP because it's the private XRP. We're talking about the private XRP ledger. There's only one XRP. All right. There's only going to be one XRP, and that is the XRP that we know of. XRP is still tapped in on the private ledger technology. XRP could still be utilized on that private ledger, and it will be. And we know that it will be because we're going to be addressing that and talking about it. But over here we have from James Wallace, this goes back to May 19th, CBDC is likely to be implemented in pretty much every country around the world, says Ripple's James Wallace. It's coming. There's going to be some great advantages to it, great use cases that people will benefit from. Check this out.
Immediate reaction is, I think there's some more education needed in the marketplace. I think there's a lot of discussion around a CBDC, what it is, what it isn't. Is it the government going to be spying on citizens? All this kind of thing. So I think there's a education required. At the end of the day, I think the federal government, trumps state governments in this. But I think really, I don't think the citizens have anything to be concerned about. CBDC is a digital representation of fiat currency. It's likely to get implemented in pretty much every country around the world. It's coming. There are going to be some great advantages to it, great use cases that will, people will get benefit from. So I see news like that. I think, okay, well, this will probably disappear when people get a bit smarter, a bit more educated about what's really going to happen. Immediate reaction.
Now, as we really look at CBDCs, how is Ripple utilizing XRP for this? Well, over here from the Ripple CBDC hackathon, this is back in August, actually, of 2023. You guys can see that on the bottom left there. We have the core UVP, and here we have the overall focus. So near 0, 1% remittance fee, instant remittance service, seamless conversion to 54 African currencies and CBDCs. Very interesting statistic there. Investment wallet of saved remittance fees and investments in well-vetted infrastructure projects. Now, we can see some of the investment wallet features on the right side. This is tokenized asset stacking, stacking and deployment, contactless payment, peer-to-peer payments, bank account management as well. Over here, we have the XRP ledger and Ripple integration. The XRP ledger will send cross-currency payments exchanging stablecoins and CBDCs. There you have it. Confirmation of it. We have hooks, trust lines, checks, multi-sign, and even the DEX. Automated transaction split savings account allocation via hooks. Authorized trust lines allow seamless conversion between stablecoins, multi-sovereign CBDCs, and stablecoins within Diaspora Bank. And this is checks allow microfinance investment savings account allocation and fixed contract income disbursement. Multi-sign additional security enables collective authorization of investment projects from investment accounts. And then also the DEX, which is fiat on-ramping option for sending party, eliminating need for third-party service providers. And then on the last slide here, we have our product roadmap. Again, we are now in quarter 2 of 2024. In terms of quarter 3, it seems as though there's going to be some big focus happening around tokenized asset ownership and employment. And you can see the tech stack on the bottom there. The XRP ledger might be a little bit hidden behind my overlay, but the XRP ledger is there with a few other names, but this is their product roadmap. You can see phase 1 was remittances, phase 2 was multi-sovereign CBDC, phase 3 is investment wallet microfinance, and then of course phase 4 is tokenized asset ownership and employment. So very, very interesting. And by the way, this is through Diaspora Bank. So this is a big deal, and it just shows you how big the XRP ledger is. And this is the core ledger. You can see it on the first phase. This is the core ledger. So for anyone out there that is saying like, oh no, like XRP won't be used, the private ledger is going to be the only thing tapped in, like, no, that is completely false. XRP will still be utilized. The XRP ledger is still a big focus here. Now, As we do look at XRP and Ripple, back in March, there was a great article that got posted, which was XRP revolutionizing cross-border payments, exploring the potential and challenges. At the same exact time, we got this article here, and this is Introduction to the Need for Efficient Cross-Border Payments. Now, I went ahead and actually summarized this. There's a lot of information here. Down here, we actually have 5 facts about XRP and cross-border payments. We have traditional cross-border payments are slow, costly, and burdened with intermediaries. Ripple's XRP is revolutionizing cross-border payments by leveraging blockchain tech. XRP operates on a decentralized blockchain network, removing the need for intermediaries and reducing cost. XRP enables near instantaneous settlement, enhancing the speed and efficiency of cross-border payments. And of course, XRP promotes financial inclusivity by eliminating intermediaries and their associated fees, making cross-border payments accessible to more individuals and businesses. But over here, we have the full breakdown, right? So leveraging XRP, Ripple is transforming cross-border payments by focusing on speed and cost effectiveness. Ripple's blockchain technology eliminates intermediaries, reducing fees and streamlining transactions, offering instant confirmation and settlement through a real-time gross settlement system. This innovation enhances security and transparency due to its decentralized nature. Now, there's a few things here. Obviously, like when we look at traditional markets, they are fully outdated. There's a lot of delays, errors, things like that, inflating costs. There's so many problems when we talk about like traditional payment flows. When we're talking about like cross-border payments, if you have, made a payment outside of the US to anyone, right? For me, it's a lot of business transactions. I send money overseas constantly, and I see it firsthand. I see how bad it is. And, if there was a way for me to fully pay those employees in XRP if they wanted to, right? Because again, they do want fiat currencies. I would, because it just makes sense. It's a no-brainer move. You're saving a ton of money in fees. It's getting there almost instantaneous. Instead, you have to use a wire transfer, or you have to utilize, some other platform, and you're getting hit with massive amounts of fees. It's a problem. And that's why when we look at XRP, like you have all of these advantages here. Sorry. You have speed, low fees, liquidity, scalability, transparency, and even reduced risk. Like these are game changing, especially if you are like, think about it like this, right? If you own a business that's doing millions and possibly even billions of dollars per year in, we'll say just revenue, right? And you have to pay out a ton of money as well, overseas. Maybe you're getting cross-border payments in and out. Whatever the case may be, you're getting hit with massive amounts of fees. We're talking about potentially, if you're moving billions, you're paying millions and millions of dollars in fees. And it could be, tens or possibly even hundreds of millions of dollars in fees, depending on how many billions you're moving. And it's a big problem. And it's a huge issue, especially for even institutions as well. So as we really look at what Ripple and XRP are really solving here, it's a game changer. It really is a major game changer. Now, we already know that Ripple is working with the Bank for International Settlements on Payments Task Force. This happened back in August. This was a big deal. And it is something to me that really kind of confirms just how significant the connection is with Ripple to the BIS and even all these other entities involved. We have engagement and partnership between the public and private sector is a key element of the G20 cross-border payments program. Improvements to payment systems and arrangements underlying cross-border payments require global coordination, cooperation, and the commitment of a wide range of public authorities and private sector stakeholders. The CPMI is working to bring together the relevant stakeholders via joint working groups, workshops, consultations, and surveys to ensure both strategic perspective, and the required subject matter expertise is available to the program. So very big news here in terms of that announcement, and really kind of, like I said, confirmed where Ripple and XRP stand. Now, beyond this, let's go back to 2016. Now, for all of those out there that are saying, oh, it's 2016, we're talking about 8 years ago. There's no way that this is even, still a thing today. It doesn't matter at all, because again, a lot of people will say like, oh, this is old news, so it's ridiculous. Guys, ISO 20022 is a standard that is now being fully adopted in. It's been around since 2004. It's 20 years old. 2 decades. Are we calling that old? I don't believe so, because it's now being adopted in. Like, these things still hold up today. This is Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial XRP for cross-border payments. These are 12 major banks. Now, again, is this crucial to know today? Yes, it still is. because there is still a significant connection here with R3. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are saying like, there's no way, it's ridiculous, like it doesn't even matter today. It still does. These are things that really kind of give you an insight on how big of an advantage it is tapping into something like XRP. And you can see that through these quotes by these major banks. A more efficient global payment system is all about making payments faster, easier, and more transparent for businesses and consumers. Using innovative technology to rethink traditional processes is exactly what's needed to give businesses everywhere an easier way to send and receive payments. And we are very active in making that a reality for our clients. We were really glad both to take part in the test team and about exploring the Ripple solution and its technical implications in depth. We found the exercise very interesting, and we deem that the next challenge is to understand its full potential impact, especially in regulatory terms. The contribution of central banks and regulators to supervise cryptocurrencies together with a higher focus on relevant clearing and settlement is the way to give confidence to the market, reducing the liquidity absorption for the banks and reducing systemic risk. And then down here we also have, by developing blockchain with native digital assets specifically dedicated to cross-border payments, Ripple has a great potential to revolutionize traditional global payment concepts, enabling international payments in real time at lower cost, digitally, and also cryptographically secure, significantly contributing towards digitalization of the financial industry and our world. And then also we have trial projects like this, and the knowledge we gain from them are helping us build a path for the future of payments and deepen the industry's knowledge on the potential blockchain may have for better payments management worldwide. And also combining the use of digital currency on a shared ledger with our previous low-value cross-border payment proofs of concepts holds great promise for transformation across the entire international payments value chain, as well as for financial inclusion. And then also, we are excited to work with R3 and its member banks to institutionalize the use of XRP, make cross-border payments truly efficient for banks, and further our vision of enabling the internet of value by taking this trial into commercial production. So again, like as we really look at these connections, as we look at the benefits here, as we look at the comments from these major executives as well, it shows you just how significant the value is here by tapping into something like XRP. Now, beyond this, the reason why I brought this back up is because let's go back in time to a few of these projects. Like, for example, Project Stella, okay? This is one that a lot of people don't even care about today because it is a couple years old. Like, this is one that got reposted on February 12th, 2020. This is Project Stella. The ECB and the Bank of Japan released joint report on distributed ledger technology. This is back in 2020. Now, remember, the original focus of this was back in 2019, June 2019. Remember, Ripple was mentioned 5 times here. They quote a few things in terms of like the solutions guide at Ripple. And then also, as we look up here, we could see RippleNet being mentioned. We could also see Xcurrent. We could see ILP. This is all fully mentioned within this. This is a DLT project from 2019. This is POCs with the ECB and the Bank of Japan. Now, you might be saying like, oh, well, this doesn't matter. Let's actually talk about it. So over here we have from the IMF, and this is towards central bank digital currencies in Asia and the Pacific. This is September of 2022. Now, DLT is mentioned 7 times within this. You could actually see the Bank of Thailand and the HKMA. This is leveraging DLT to increase efficiency in cross-border payments. Very significant, especially when you look at the connections back to the Bank of Thailand and even the HKMA with Ripple and XRP. And here we have, they opted, this is the Bank of Thailand, has opted for a combination of centralized and distributed ledger design. While centralized technology offers advantages in terms of scalability and performance, decentralized technology offers greater resiliency, and its cryptographic techniques can help enhance security. Again, this is why centralized technology is not going to be the way for any of these major banks. They still want that decentralization because of the security. Now, also up here, we have, this is China CBDC. They do mention, both centralized and distributed ledger architectures, and it's supported by technologies developed in-house. Beyond that, we also have up here, there's a preference for a combination of centralized and distributed ledger designed to enhance the resilience and expansibility of the system. Also up here, we have DLT being mentioned yet again. Again, the full focus here is almost on every single one of these CBDC PDF files. DLT is crucial for all of it. DLT is the underlying foundation for CBDCs. You don't get CBDCs without DLT being fully tapped in. Also over here, again, September of just last year, a guide to central bank digital currency product development. Now, this one is very interesting. So if we look at the first one, right, the first mention here, we have just DLT, whatever, right? Down here, we have, for instance, the Bank of Japan has been running a series of POCs since 2020 to study various aspects of the CBDC, including the role of DLT or the mechanisms to preserve privacy. Interesting. Now, if we scroll down here, we have answering the question DLT versus traditional technology. When deciding between a private permission DLT and traditional database architecture for CBDC, project managers should carefully consider various factors. Again, just really kind of addressing like DLT. They do mention a public version of DLT as used by like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is not suitable for a CBDC because of the concerns about control, privacy, scalability, and finality. However, central banks are exploring some of the technology features that DLT offers in the context of a permissioned private version that is controlled entirely by the operator. Now, this is where the private XRP ledger gets tapped in by Ripple. That's why when we look at what Ripple is offering in terms of that private ledger, that's where that becomes significant. But remember, XRP, the underlying asset, could still be utilized even on the private ledger. We've talked about this in the past. But down here, we have DLT being talked about yet again. And then we also have Project Stella being mentioned here. Remember, this is a DLT-based CBDC project that occurred from 2016 to 2020, where they specifically mentioned XRP. They mentioned Ripple and even XRP within here because, again, you know, if we look at RippleNet, like RippleNet does involve XRP. XRP is not named specifically, but with RippleNet, XRP is tapped in. But this fully breaks down like how ILP works, how RippleNet works, and also even the protocol for interledger payments. So this is significant when you are looking at a document from 2023 that specifically mentions Project Stella. Again, it shows you how significant that is, even though it is years and years old. Now, also, this PDF file from the World Bank Group, this is November of 2021. You probably already know about this because Ripple and XRP are mentioned specifically within here. We have DLT being fully tapped in again. In fact, the emergence of DLT, as well as an entry into the market of providers like TransferWise and the Global Payments Innovation GPI initiative by Swift, are revolutionizing cross-border payments, enabling transactions to be executed within minutes. And this is where we start to see, DLT being heavily talked about, and even CBDCs being talked about. Now, DLT is mentioned 10 times within this full breakdown, this PDF file. And here we have even distributed ledger technologies being mentioned. Again, they fully break it down. And if we keep going down here, we could see XRP and even Ripple being mentioned. So let's go to the key. Let me scroll up real quick. So if we scroll down to the acronyms and the full breakdowns, we could see XLM and even XRP being the only two that are actually on this document. And remember, this is all based around cross-border payments, central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments. Now, XRP and XLM are not central bank digital currencies, but they will be crucial in a CBDC world for cross-border payments. Now, it's not just going to be CBDCs, it's also going to be stablecoins. Now, over here from the BIS, this is back in June of 2021, CBDC is an opportunity for the monetary system. Even within here, the technology that is being utilized for this is DLT. Now, this is a very significant document. Like, this is a lot of information, and it really kind of just addresses like the architecture behind CBDCs. But as you guys do see down here, that the full study covers DLT. DLT is what makes this a reality. Regardless of if you believe in CBDCs or want CBDCs, they are happening. The underlying DLT that will be tapped in will become extremely valuable. XRP, through documents, through PDFs, is being mentioned specifically. XLM also mentioned specifically. QNT mentioned specifically. QNT Quant is also connecting those DLTs to these major organizations' underlying networks, their traditional networks. Those networks will be plug and played with the DLT world. This is all being connected through APIs, in fact. And what's funny is they actually have up here APIs in the Industrial Organization of Payments. APIs is the crucial piece of the puzzle as well. Now, am I in support of CBDCs? Do I like CBDCs? Not exactly, but again, they're becoming a reality regardless of if we like them or not. Now, over here, we also have central bank digital currencies, ongoing policy perspectives. This is May of 2023. You can see some of those names here involved. So Bank of Canada, the ECB, Bank of Japan, Risk Bank. We also have Swiss National Bank, Bank of England, Board of Governors at the Federal Reserve System, and of course the BIS. Now, regarding this, DLT is only mentioned once within here. And we have, as financial institutions usually already have access to central bank money in digital form, discussion of wholesale CBDC tends to focus on central bank money, which utilizes new technologies such as DLT. Again, it confirms with you that DLT, like these distributed ledger technologies, are at the forefront of what's coming. And as we look at Ripple, they are at the forefront of this. Ripple has been working with central banks forever. They have been in discussions with central banks forever, going all the way back in time to some of these POCs or even some of these announcements. It just shows you how well connected Ripple is. This is why when we look at XRP, as we look at this space, I don't think that there is another asset like XRP in this space that has these connections tied back to it. Because remember, as Ripple gets exposed to all these big names, so does XRP technically, because of Ripple tapping in to the XRPL. And even as we look at the private XRPL being tapped in, you still see XRP being, brought up in discussions as being that settlement asset. But also when we look at this CBDC hackathon, you can clearly see the XRP ledger integration with Ripple as being that major platform for cross-currency payments, exchanging stablecoins, and even CBDCs. And you can see those use cases within here. This is something very interesting, especially as you do look over here, like this is conversion of 54 African currencies and CBDCs. And when we look at that, right, like this is cross-currency payments, exchanging stablecoins, and even CBDCs. That's 54 of these currencies and even CBDCs. Like, think about how crazy that is. Now, how does all of this pertain to XRP going up in value? Well, it's utility. Guys, regulations are heating up. Discussions around regulations are heating up in a very large way. As we do start to see more and more adoption of CBDCs, and we start to see regulations, providing clarity for this entire space, those DLTs that have been at the forefront of this for so long, those companies like Ripple that have been tapped in with specific blockchain technologies like the XRPL and XRP, all of a sudden, utilization is heating up in a very large way because now after regulations come into play, we have implementation and utilization. And if we're talking about massive amounts of transactions every single day, 24/7, 365, we have tokenization endeavors, we have retail use cases on the ledger, we have institutional use cases as well in terms of DeFi initiatives. I mean, think about how crazy this can really get. When we're talking about multiplier effects, yeah, XRP has a ton tied to it. But the problem is, how long do we have to wait? Well, regulations could very well still be 2 years out. We still need implementation. We still need full-on adoption. We still need full-on use. I do think that once regulations do happen and once implementation is finished, I don't think that those last steps are going to take long. I would argue within the next 3 to 5 years, we will see utility truly embraced and become very valuable. Now, in the short term, in the next couple weeks, couple months, going forward, I do think that this entire space is going to wake up with alt season. That's where we start to see, the hype and speculative prices heating up yet again. But what about the real value behind XRP? That's locked away behind regulations, implementation, and utilization. And we're still waiting on that. But once we are out of the idea of like, all right, when are we getting clarity? When is utilization going to happen? Once we're out of those questions, once we see everything happen fully, then everything changes. And I'm very excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing regulations come to this space. I'm looking forward to this space maturing and utility actually mattering, because that's when everything changes. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.